What's up, Call Dad family? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and had a great week. I know I did. I had a really good time yesterday spending some time with the Winston and Raleigh guys doing some Dad U playbook training. We had a lot of laughs and a lot of role playing, and we had a lot of fun. I hope each and every one of you guys are having a good time as I come around and do that training with you as well. But it made me think I've really been meaning to get this same day parts video out, and I've been dragging my feet. I really wanted to get it out today to make sure you guys had it in your hands and knew what the expectation was. We've done a really bad job as a company making it the culture that we try to take care of the customer the day that we're there. And as a technician, I know what you're thinking. Oh God, that means I'm gonna have to work later. I'm gonna have to run more calls and all this, which in some days, yes, you may have to work a little bit later. But Service Titan's set up to allow you to run 5 calls. If you're working a 10-hour shift, you're set up for 2-hour calls, 5 calls. Working a call in 30 minutes, you're probably going to get another call added to you because your windows are going to shrink. We're going to be able to add more calls. You're going to not really get ahead like you're trying to by not providing the value to the customer. What I really want to do is start taking care of that customer while you're there. I want you to find out what's wrong with the system. I want you to get approval for the repair. I want you to call and see if you can find the part for that repair. See how we can get it there to you. Whether that be Uber through Ricardo, calling parts coordinator and saying, hey, I found this part at Gym Air. It's a evaporator coil that's leaking. Is there any way you can get somebody to bring it to me? Or maybe Ricardo calls Uber and gets it to Uber to you. But you can go ahead and start taking the coil out. Wait for the part to get there, put the coil in. But I would really like to get to where we're taking care of the customer. A customer calls us, they don't have any air conditioning, it's 90 degrees, or they don't have any heat, it's 30 degrees outside. The last thing they want to do is wait a couple more days for us to find another day that we can get back out there to put the part on, especially in a situation where the part is 20 minutes from their house in the first place. You wouldn't want to do that. That wouldn't be providing great customer service. So why don't we work together as a team to figure out how we can start taking care of the customer while we're there. If you guys need a list of, hey, if I'm working on a Goodman, what place do I call? If you need that kind of list, get with your location manager and ask them, say, hey, can you get me a list of where I would call if this certain part was broken on this type of unit if you don't already know. So that way you're not calling all the supply houses around town. You can just call the one that you know typically sells that type of equipment and may have that part in stock for you. And then call Ricardo and say, hey, Ricardo, I found this part over here and this customer's approved the repair. I'd like to go pick up this part, or is there any way you can get this part delivered to me, or have somebody meet me halfway if it's a longer distance? Go pick that part up, come back, take care of that customer. You've done 2 things. You've allowed yourself to take care of a customer on the day that they were hoping you would take care of them. And then you've also freed yourself up to do a different job 3 days down the road when typically that job would have been rescheduled too. So you've freed up a lot of space. You've taken care of a customer. You've done the best thing overall for everyone. I would highly recommend that you guys start taking advantage of that. What will happen is Ricardo will call the dispatch and say, hey, Johnny's going to take an extra hour at this call. Can you go ahead and stretch that window out for him? And then they're going to have to call another customer and say, hey, let me move you to such and such because he's got the availability. Work together as a team and take care of the customer, which is ultimately what we're all trying to do here. I hope you guys had a great week, like I said, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Have a good afternoon.